Did you know that in the US, the first bills were called greenbacks, after the green ink used on the backs of the bills? And the name check, spelled either way here, is derived from the game of chess. Putting the king in check means his choices are limited, just like a modern-day check that limits the possibilities of forgery and alteration.
Hey, welcome back to Common Sense. Welcome back. Welcome back. Romero, Jeff, the Fire Fuhrer from the Federal Reserve. Now you can all say you have a friend in the Federal Reserve. Make sure and get his number and call him up whenever you have any questions concerning your finances.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Text him. He'll help you out. All right, so now, at the end of round one, it was 15-10 blue team. Green team, do you think you have the lead now or what? You think you have the lead? Blue team, do you think you're still winning? No. Let's see the scores after round two. Whoa! It's tied. We didn't even set it up like this. This is perfect. Now here's the thing. Yeah, they're textbookless. You guys should be smoking them. So here's the thing now for round three. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. You have the possibility.
That's twice as much, isn't it? That's twice as much.
Let me think about that.
Yeah, wait, 5, 10, absolutely.
I'm going to believe him. He's the math guy. You have the ability to pull away in this one. Let's see. Or you guys could just boom. So you guys ready for round three now? I feel like the green team has a little more chemistry than the blue team.
Yeah, what can you do about that? Can we just get a little noise
Just
here
saying,
for that blue team?
You know, it's like
yes.
Not
Good.
That, by the way, not that what you guys are doing is wrong. I just feel you guys are a little more business. Like, you know.
Well, maybe they know the answers.
I don't know, 24 players, 24 cabs. Like, these guys are going to go out and party later, hang out. You guys are like, hey, man, it's great working with you. I'll see you when I see you. Holla. Anyway, here we go, round three. Focus. Brianna. Here we go. These questions are worth 10 points each. Question number one. Which form of payment provides consumers with the greatest protection if the customer has a dispute with a product or service? Is it 1, cash, 2, credit card, 3, debit card, or 4, check? You have 10 seconds. Come on, this one should be a no-brainer. Whoa, hold on a second.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah, Jeff, we need to discuss this.
We have to talk about that.
You guys, first of all, that should be 100% on credit card. And most of you guys answered cash.
So,
can you please explain?
So what happens to cash after you give it to the merchant? Where does it go? Who knows, right? That's the thing. Here's another thing. Did you know that 50% of the cash in circulation that the government puts in circulation is overseas somewhere? It's not even here. It's being used for things we have no idea and probably don't want to know. Cash, not so safe. Remember that. Credit card's the right answer. We'll talk about that more.
You're all learning something, huh?
See?
Next question. Negative financial information, excluding bankruptcy, can stay on your credit report for how many years? Is it 1, 2 years, 2, 5 years, 3, 7 years, or 4, 10 years? 10 seconds. Let's see. 7 years, 56% of you said that is the correct answer. Can you, I actually need you to explain why people should care about this, Jeff, because I have some friends who believe that they think that you could be like a mess, and then 7 years later, it's like, hey, I can start over. It's great. It's cool.
So you make a mistake. You miss a payment, as we discussed earlier. You miss a payment or you're late a payment. You don't think much of it. 2 years later, you're going in to buy a car. You're all set to sign the deal, and the guy comes out and says, sorry, it's not going to happen. Why is that? Because you missed a payment, it's on your credit record, and we're not going to lend you the money for it. You got to keep track of those things. Every one of those payments makes a difference. So that's why it matters, and it sticks around for some time, as you know from the answer.
There we go. Next question. If you make a purchase with a credit card, you have 1, the same protection as if you used cash, 2, additional protection, 3, fewer responsibilities, or 4, no protection? 10 seconds. All right, I heard a couple people groaning with this one, so I'm very curious. 100%?
Oh.
Additional protection, you nailed it. You nailed it. Real quick, why'd you groan?
No, I knew the answer.
You knew the answer? Oh, okay.
He was up all night studying. He was
That's
guy.
the most evil sounding yawn ever. All right, here we go. Next question. How much time do you have to report suspected credit fraud and not be held liable? Is it 1, 7 days, 2, 30 days, 3, 60 days, or 4, 90 days? 10 seconds. Time's up. Let's see. 72%. You said 30 days. 72% of you are wrong. 11% of you are correct. 60 days.
So that's important, right? That's important. Do you know what happens after 60 days if you don't report it? So even though maybe someone took your credit card number and it was a fraudulent use of your credit card, after 60 days, you could be liable for the whole thing. You could have to pay for it, even though you didn't make the purchase. So that also means if you have a credit card, you got to be watching all the time when your bill comes in to make sure everything that's on there is something that you actually paid for, because if not, you got to make a quick phone call. That's the lesson from that one.
Yes. So if you got that wrong, now remember, 60 days.
60 days.
Last question of round 3. John. We'll give a guy a name. His name is John. His credit card is co-signed by his mother. Let's call her Tammy. If he does not pay his bill, then what? 1, John's credit record will not be affected. 2, his mother's credit record will not be affected. 3, both of their credit records will be affected. Or 4, both of their credit records will not be affected. 10 seconds. Let's see. Boom, 94%, you got it right.
Good job.
Some of you just thought it would go on your mom, wouldn't it? Like, it's all good. She's like the adult. It's all good. I'm safe. All right. That's the end of round 3. Jeff, what are your thoughts so far?
I'm really impressed by the number of answers that are in the 90% range where people, again, that means that you've got good common sense. You know something about finance. There's a few areas you might want to touch up on a bit, right? There's a couple where we got very few of the right answers, and those are ones that actually matter for your financial future. So I would think about those. You'll learn that going out of here. You'll remember those answers. But I'm really impressed by the overall level of knowledge compared to the video we saw where people are totally clueless. You guys actually know something, so that's good to see. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There it is. Real quick, one more question. This is a very good question. Is it true that Americans under the age of 25 are filing for bankruptcy faster than any other age group?
So what's actually the case is Americans under 25, the rate at which they're filing for bankruptcy is growing at the fastest rate. They still got to catch up with the folks between ages 35 and 44, but at the rate they're going, they may catch up with them. So that's a warning sign. It's just folks who are younger, not all using credit wisely. Think about what happened over the last 3 years in the economy, the financial crisis, people getting in trouble with mortgages. That's a good lesson to take away. Got to use credit wisely.
Use credit wisely. Okay, that is the end of round 3. Coming back, we have round 4, which is worth 20 points each. Oh! And we're also going to find out what the score is so far. This is Common Sense. Stay with us, please. Hey!
Did you know that in the US there are 2 credit cards for every member of the population? And that the first record of loans, deposits, currency validation and exchange occurred in the 18th century BC in Babylon?
Welcome back to Common Sense, everybody. We're back. That's Jeff. I'm Ramiro. I'm the brains. He brings the sexy.
That's what I do.
So before
Try
we
to
kick off,
contain yourself.
before we kick off round number 4, Let's see at the end of 3 rounds which team is winning. Scores, please. Green team. In the face, in the face. Blue team, come on, man. You started off hot, then they tied it up. They're just slowly creeping up.
No.
They close the textbooks.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
and square.
yeah.
Fair and square.
Here's the deal now. These are the toughest questions of all. Each question is worth 20 points.
20. That's 4 times as much as round 1 and twice as much as round 3.
That's why he's here.
That's why I'm here. That's to do the
why
math.
he's
That's what I
here.
do.
All right, you guys
So
ready?
anybody can, obviously, you can easily make up this difference at 20 points a question, easily. So get to it.
Here we go. First question. A credit report is 1, a loan and bill payment history. 2, your credit line with your financial institution. 3, a list of your financial assets and liabilities. Or 4, your monthly credit card statement. 10 seconds. Yeah. 50%, half of you.
Okay.
You got that right. The thing is, y'all should have got it right because it's very, very important to have a credit report, and Jeff's going to tell us why.
You bet it is. So how many of you answered it was your monthly credit card statement? Anybody answer that? You're not going to admit that, are you? No, okay. So I withdraw the question. But yeah, I think Ramiro's right. Everyone should have gotten the answer to this because your credit report is really important. We've already talked about that today. Every bill payment that you make on time and everyone that you miss, everyone that you're late, shows up on your credit report and it stays there. And it's very easy for anyone who might want to lend you money to get that report, and that would stop you from getting the loan. So very important thing to keep track of.
There it is. Next question. What is compound interest? Is it 1, interest that accrues on the initial principal and the accumulated interest of a principal deposit, loan, or debt? 2, interest that is calculated by multiplying the interest rate by the principal by the number of periods? 3, annual rate of interest to be paid on an investment? Or 4, an interest rate that has been adjusted to remove the effects of inflation to reflect the real cost of funds to the borrower? And that is why these questions are worth 20 points. 10 seconds. All right. 42% of you got it correct. That's less than half, but that is the correct answer. Interest that accrues on the initial principal and the accumulated interest of a principal deposit, loan, or debt. Come on, we all know what that means.
So
Jeff?
this is important. This is really important. In economics, we actually call this the miracle of compound interest because things add up really quickly. So it works both ways. If you're borrowing money and the interest rate is high, and you have to pay interest not on only the amount that you borrowed, but on the interest that you accrued, interest on that, and then the interest on all of that, it adds up really fast. Remember I said earlier the credit card interest rates were 10 to 25%? At that rate, you are accumulating the interest cost at a huge rate. Your bill will go up really, really fast. Now, the good news is the miracle also works on the other side. If you're saving money and you put it away, you put $100 in the bank, maybe you have $110 with the $10 of interest, say, the next year, you get interest on that $10 also, as well as on the original principal that you put in. So the miracle works both ways, but it's particularly worrisome on the borrowing side, especially if you're at a high interest rate vehicle like a credit card.
All right.
So it's a miracle. We're talking about miracles here.
Next question. Next 20-point question, by the way. You invest $10,000 in hopes of doubling your money. The account you put the money into is paying 2%. How long will it take your money to double if you don't invest any additional funds? Will it take 1, 4.5 years? Will it take 2, 9 years? Will it take 3, 18 years? Or 4, 36 years? 10 seconds. Everybody wants to double their money. How long is it going to take? 33%. 36 years.
That's a long time.
Just a double 10 grand?
That's because 2% is a pretty small interest rate, so that miracle is not working so vigorously. If it was 10%, it would double in 7 years. If it was 7%, it would double in about 10 years. So you keep track. It means keep track of the interest rate. It does say how well that miracle of compound interest will be working for you or against you.
Everybody who said 4.5 years is like, no. No. All right, next question. What is revolving debt? Is it 1, debt that typically has a variable interest rate and open-ended term and payments based on a percentage of the balance? 2, when your mother chases you around the kitchen table because you borrowed money without asking?
That's the revolving part. I got it.
3, debt that has a fixed interest rate? Or 4, the kind of debt you'll have as a result of taking out a loan for college? 10 seconds. $85%.
Yes.
Bam.
Yeah.
You answered 1. I'm not going to reread that because I messed up reading it the first time. That is typically the percentage of balance. That's revolving debt. Good for you. All right, last question. How many days after you receive your bank statement, either by mail or electronically, do you have to file a dispute about a debit card transaction? Is it 1, 7 days? Is it 2, 60 days? Is it 3, 45 days? Or is it 4, 30 days? 10 seconds. $60 days. 38% of you got that right. 44 said 30 days. I mean, I don't think this is stuff that people should know off the top of their head anyway.
Yeah, no,
so
that was a hard
like,
question. I'm
yeah.
not sure I remembered the answer to that, except I was looking over his shoulder, so.
I don't know the answer to these questions.
Who knows?
So, Jeff, why should people even review their bank statements? You know, you get them in the mail, stuff like that, and most people go like this, whatever, trash.
So a couple of reasons, right? One of the first questions we talked about was the budget. And I said the thing to do with your budget is not just to write it down, but then compare it to the expenses you actually make. You do that by looking at your bank statement. You say, oh, I said I was going to spend $30 on my cell phone bill. It came in at 64. I'm over budget. That's a problem. The second one, though, is, as we said, on your bank statement, you just always want to make sure that everything on the bank statement is something you know about, that you initiated, because if not, maybe that someone has stolen your personal information. And that's something that's increasing in frequency around the country, this theft of personal information and misusing your financial information. So you always want to check that to make sure that it's really stuff that you did.
This is stuff you could be bringing home and teaching your parents. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you, like, you have parents who are like, oh, yeah, bank statement, whatever, bill. And you're like, Mom, Dad,
Mom.
have you know what compound interest is?
The miracle of compound interest.
Revolving debt? Because I'm going to tell you right now what it is. It's debt that typically has a variable interest rate and open-ended term and payments that are based on a percentage of the balance.
That was amazing what he just did.
You should know what that means,
Perfect.
Mom and Dad.
That was perfect.
All right.
He's a financial wizard.
I'm a guru.
He is.
So, now the competition is done. Hopefully, you all did your best. We're going to get the final scores after this break.
Did you know about 30 million U.S. pennies are produced each day, which is 1,040 pennies every second? And that the word millionaire first popped up in literature in the 1826 novel Vivian Grey by Benjamin Disraeli. What's the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire? A billion is 1,000 million.
We are back to Common Sense. Woo! So, we have a winner. We have a winner. Before, though, I announce the winner, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who helped make this little thing here we're doing possible. Bank of America, a wonderful sponsor, Bank of America. Woo! Cape Cod 5 Cent Savings Bank. Woo! Citizens Union Savings Bank. Denver's Bank. People's Bank. And the Massachusetts Bankers Association. Finally. Do we have a drum roll sound effect? No?
Nice.
We do
Good
now.
job. Yes. Nice.
Green team, do you think you did it? Yeah. Blue team, do you
team?
think you did it?
The tension is almost palpable.
The winning team. By the way, in case of a tie, we will have a bonus round.
Yes.
But there's no tie. Somebody won and somebody lost. We're going to find out right now who the winning team is. Winning by a score of 105 to 95. It was close, but not close enough for the losers. The winning team is the blue team! Blue team! You brought it back. Green team, you were so
Big
close. You were
comeback.
so close. The blue team, you guys have won $1 million. Just kidding. No, you do take home fabulous prizes, though. And of course, green team, you will take home parting gifts. And you have made friends for life. Friends for life. That's what it's all about.
And you learned something.
That's right. You learned
You
something,
had fun,
too.
but you learned something.
That's what revolving debt. Bring it home to mom and dad.
That's right.
Hey, it's Ramiro, Jeff from the Federal Reserve. He's going to be performing nightly now.
Every
He
night.
loves this. He's quitting the Federal
I got
Reserve.
it's all over. This is what I do now.
He's the man. Hey, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
All
Come on,
right.